Hey everyone, so if you're running anything on AWS, you're dealing with a constant, and I mean constant, stream of data. The real question is, are you just collecting all that data, or are you actually turning it into real intelligence? Today, we're going to break down 3 key AWS tools, that's CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and AWS Config, that are going to help you do just that. Let's dive in.
You ever have that feeling like you're flying blind in your own cloud environment? You know, stuff is happening, but you're not always 100% sure what or why? Yeah, that's a super common feeling, and it's exactly why having a solid monitoring and compliance strategy isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential.
All right, first up, let's talk about the absolute foundation of performance monitoring in AWS. We're going to take a closer look at CloudWatch and see exactly how it keeps such a close eye on all of your resources.
So what is CloudWatch at its heart? Well, you can think of it as the central hub for all your performance data. It's kind of like this central nervous system of your AWS environment, right? It's constantly pulling in all these signals to give you a really clear picture of what's happening right this second.
Now this is where CloudWatch really starts to shine. It's flexibility. You're not just stuck with the basics like CPU usage. You can create your own custom metrics. I mean, think about that. You can track literally anything that matters to your application. For an e-commerce site, you could track shopping cart abandonment rates in real time. And with up to 30 dimensions, you can slice and dice that data in some incredibly powerful ways.
And you know, to really appreciate how streamlined this is now, let's take a quick look back. It wasn't always this simple. In the past, you needed separate tools, one for logs, a totally different one for your custom metrics. Honestly, it was pretty clunky and added a ton of complexity to your setup. And here is the solution, the unified CloudWatch agent. AWS did something really brilliant here. They just combined everything into one powerful tool. It makes configuration way simpler since you can manage it through the Systems Manager parameter store, which is just a secure way to store your config data, and it even works with your on-premise servers. This is what gives you that single pane of glass view everyone is always talking about. And on top of all that, the agent gives you access to what are called enhanced metrics. This is a total game changer. You get this super high resolution, almost real-time data on critical things like memory and disk space. This is the kind of deep insight that really helps you catch problems before they blow up into a real crisis. So we've covered performance, but what about accountability? What about governance and, compliance? Well, that's where our next tool, AWS CloudTrail, comes into the picture. It is all about answering that one fundamental question, who did what and when? Here's the most important thing to remember. Every single action you take in your AWS account is an API call. And CloudTrail is a service that records every single one. It's the definitive, unchangeable audit trail for your entire environment. So CloudTrail captures all these API calls as a searchable event history. It keeps the last 90 days right at your fingertips. But for any kind of long-term compliance, you're going to want to archive those logs in an S3 bucket. And the integration with EventBridge, so powerful. It lets you automatically trigger alerts or even kick off remediation scripts in response to specific events. CloudTrail also categorizes these events for you, which is really, really helpful. You've got management events, which are about your control plane. Think creating a new user or firing up an EC2 instance. Then there are data events, which are the actions on your data, like someone reading an object from S3. And finally, you have insight events, which use machine learning to flag unusual activity that might be a security risk. Together, they give you a very, very complete picture. All right, we've got performance and auditing down. Let's talk about our third key player, AWS Config. This one focuses squarely on answering the question, is my infrastructure actually compliant? At its core, AWS Config is all about the state of your resources. It's continuously assessing and auditing how they're configured to make sure they're lining up with your internal policies and any regulatory standards you have to meet. So, how does AWS Config work its magic? Well, first, it keeps a super detailed history of every single change made to your resources. This is a huge win for compliance audits. Then, you can set up rules that define what compliant actually means to you. And if a resource ever drifts out of compliance, Config can automatically trigger a fix. It's like having a tireless compliance officer working for you 24/7. Okay, now for the big picture. Because these tools, they aren't meant to be used in isolation. Let's see how they work together to form a truly comprehensive cloud management solution. And here it is. This is where it all clicks together. This is that aha moment. CloudWatch is all about performance. It answers, is it running well? CloudTrail is your audit trail. It answers who did what. And AWS Config is your compliance watchdog. It answers, is it compliant? Each tool has a very specific and very important job to do.
And when you bring these services together, you get something incredibly powerful: total visibility. You're not just looking at one little piece of the puzzle anymore, you're seeing the complete picture of your cloud's health, its security, and its compliance.
So there you have it. By understanding how CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and AWS Config all work together, you've got the building blocks for a truly robust and insightful cloud management strategy. The next step is to start thinking about how you can apply these tools to your own environment to get the visibility and control you really need. Thanks so much for joining me.